something good on TV, like Cujo or Monster Dog.
There's nothing on TV. What are we gonna watch?
I just told you, you stupid zombie.
Let's see the thing. Oh, I've seen this movie a million times. Oh gosh, it's good. That movie? It? Oh my gosh, listen. If you want to see a clown, just go look in the mirror. That's a good one. Jennifer's body. Demons, high school cheerleaders, delicious Megan Fox. Gotta find something else. Godzilla? Is that really you? Is that for me? For me? Oh, thank you. What's this? What's this? Alright, let's see what we got here. Matango. Return attacking the mushroom people. Matango. Hey! I got Matango! Attacking the mushroom people!
I'm not gonna watch that stupid movie. I'm warning you, you better stay away. Told you, I'm not watching any more stupid movies.
Welcome back, fiends! Today we are going to look at the movie Matango. Right here, Matango. Oh gosh. This 1963 TOHO film, directed by Ishiro Honda.
The American release is called Attack of the Mushroom People.
Attack of the Mushroom People. And this was part of the 3-movie TOHO pack, released by Tokyo Shock some time ago. I think this set's out of print now. This is the DVD release, which also has The Mysterians, Varen, The Unbelievable, and of course this one, Matango, the movie we're going to be talking about. After a yacht is damaged in a storm and stranded on a deserted island, the passengers, a psychologist, his girlfriend, a wealthy businessman, a young singer, a writer, a sailor, and his skipper take refuge in a fungus-covered boat while using the mushrooms for sustenance. They find the ship's journal describing the mushrooms to be poisonous. However, some members of the shipwrecked party continue to ingest the mysterious fungi, transforming them into hideous fungi monsters. This is one of the strangest and most horrific TOHO productions to date. That's from the back of the box. Gosh. Interesting.
I've seen more interesting.
This film is told from the point of view of a man in a padded cell.
You think so?
And how, after being shipwrecked on a foggy island with zombified mushroom people, we get his story.
Yeah, the movie starts and ends with him in the cell.
Yeah. But before we move on, how about hitting that like button? And hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, okay? Yes! Don't be a parasite. Hit the like button.
Aww. Yeah, you fungus.
Oh gosh. So this film was directed by the late great Ishiro Honda, who directed many notable films, but some of our favorites are
Well, of course, Godzilla 1954, the first
yes.
one.
Yes, classic.
Also known as Gojira. Gojira.
He also directed Rodan in 1956.
In 57, he directed The Mysterians.
King Kong vs. Godzilla in 1962.
Invasion of the Astro Monster in 1965.
Oh, wow. King Ghidorah. What a classic.
Yeah.
War of the Gargantuas in 1966.
And of course, Destroy All Monsters, 66.
Wow. Wow. What a resume.
Mm-hmm.
He was Toho's secret weapon in the movie industry, huh?
That's right.
I'm sure George Lucas and Steven Spielberg have fawned on many of Honda's films over the years.
Probably. Interestingly, the film was nearly banned in Japan due to the fact that the makeup that some of the cast wore as they were turning into mushrooms was very reminiscent of how many people looked after the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Ooh, horrible. Phew. Also, Ishiro Honda explained the film's social theme. Quote, around this time, there were many people who started to be Americanized in Japan, or have a very modern lifestyle. There were rich people who sent their kids to school in foreign cars, that kind of thing. We tried to show that type of social background in this film. Definitely don't want those Japanese people being Americanized, do we? That would suck.
Yeah, there's even a remark one of them made at one point in the movie. I don't know what they were talking about, but they mentioned
Come on, spit it out already.
like, I think the communist side of the world and then the free world, which is obviously the West.
Sure.
And yeah, they didn't define Japan as either of those things.
All of a sudden, they're being neutral, huh? Where was that in 1940? Boy, that's a whole other story. We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, they must have realized eventually that they had already made Godzilla, Gojira, which was directly about the atomic bomb and the disastrous effects of it. So why not make another one?
I mean, this film was made less than 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Godzilla, we know, is a direct result of the atomic bombs being dropped on Japan. And definitely, 20 years later, it's still fresh in the minds and memory. I guess it's always going to be for the Japanese, sadly.
I mean, the shadows that were cast by people who were there, it's still like burnt into the concrete.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Matango was Ishiro Honda's first sci-fi film not to receive a release in the United States. American International Television released it directly to television in 1965 as Attack of the Mushroom People. When looking at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, I kept seeing comments like cynical, nihilistic, dark,
Probably
and
talking
pessimistic.
about the monster
Example of social paranoia when people discuss this film. Those are some interesting points. What do we like about this movie?
Well, I thought it was very cool. That's my review.
What do we like about this movie? The mushroom monster people costumes looked great. A definite throwback to old sci-fi monster costume days of cinema. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, in the commentary of the movie that we watched with Akira Kubo, the lead actor.
Wasn't he like the lead guitarist in Loudness or something? The score, soundtrack is good and creepy at times.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the acting and special effects are what one usually expects to see when one elects to see one of these films.
Yeah.
Cinematography is great. Ishiro Honda, I mean, you don't get better than this. The angles and lighting and pacing. This guy could definitely, he was a master at telling a story behind the camera.
Yeah,
In film.
There were scenes of a storm hitting them when they were on that boat and that yacht, that small yacht, and I think they talked about that too in the commentary. How great Honda was at figuring that stuff out, and the way they had, like, I don't know, big drums of water or something. I don't even remember what it was. It sounded so confusing and complicated, but they made
He
it
had
work.
it all worked out on his head. He knew how he was going to film this. This movie's it's almost 60 years old now.
Yeah, they didn't have the computer.
Looks good
effects at the time.
No CGI effects or anything. This is, old school, And I enjoyed the surprise ending.
Yeah.
We'll get on to the main problem of the film. Are you kidding me? This movie sucks. It's boring. It's long. It's old. And it's boring.
Open the door, I gotta poop.
This is like Gilligan's Island meets The Thing. Except it's not scary and it's not funny. Not even a hand job from Marianne when Bob Denver had considered being in this boring, ballless, anti-boner abomination. The people stranded on the island are dumb. The death scenes are lame. There's no blood. There's no guts. And there's no gore. And the women look like men. As a matter of fact, this might be the very first film to produce those trans fruit people. I mean, look at these ridiculous bikinis. Is that supposed to be hot and sexy? That's not a bikini. This is a bikini. This is a bikini. That's a bikini. Listen, fiends. In order for a horror film to be worthy of a monster picker boner, it must have, number one, the red stuff, with plenty of guts and gore. 2, hot screaming babes with plenty of nude scenes. And 3, finally, big tits! I mean, who doesn't enjoy gawking at a giant pair of big bouncing jugs?
They make America great.
I'll take a beer now. Anybody got a beer? Me and ya. Me and ya.
Yeah. What are the cons? What did we not like about this film? Well, the movie's slow. It's very slow.
Very.
It's about 45 to 50 minutes before we even see a mushroom zombie. It takes a long time, huh?
A mombi.
Yeah, a mombi. The character development isn't there. I didn't care about the characters. I was looking forward to seeing them murdered by mushroom monsters or succumb to the disease or do whatever was going to happen. I just wanted something to happen.
Yeah, which happened, but like not till the very end, really.
Yeah.
And it was weird. There were some inconsistencies with the mushroom people. They were real creatures, like in the movie. I think they did see illusions at certain points, but the mushroom creatures, to my knowledge, were supposed to be real. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So there was that one scene where one of them comes onto the boat, interrupts the meal they're having, or what was it? One of the guys was yelling at everybody else, whatever was going on. Opens the door, and they're all watching the door.
It was one of those mushroom people.
Was that you, man?
It's like a mushroom pup or something.
Yeah, man, you go down there, you're scaring me. Oh. And I'm not sure about all the characters, but I know that at least a majority of them were not on the mushrooms at that point. So they weren't hallucinating. But when this zombie walked in the door, it disappeared right after. And then it cut to the next scene. Like nothing happened. Then they briefly mentioned it afterwards, but there was one inconsistency. In the beginning of the movie, like we mentioned, you see the main character who's starting to talk about everything that unfolded on that island. And you see both sides of his face, and he looks normal. And then in the very end, it starts off showing you only one side of his face, and then he turns, and it's like this big reveal that it's half mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless they were trying to say that the mushroom skin grew, like in the hour-long story he told to the scientists that were there with him, that was another inconsistency, because he didn't have it to begin with.
Yeah, this movie was taking a long time. I think I was starting to grow some mushrooms on my body myself. So anyways, overall rating. Matango, a.k.a. also known as Attack of the Mushroom People. 1 to 5 skulls, 5 being the best. What do you give this movie?
Skulls. By today's standards or the context of the...
Well,
the
we're
time?
living it today. We're not,
I suppose. I think I'll give it a 3.
Very good. 3's not bad. I'm going to give this movie a 2. I'm going to give it a 2.
Apparently, there's a very similar movie or short story that was made by Hitchcock.
Wow. Look, I think this is good, old, campy, sci-fi horror, monster movie, B-movie fun, but I enjoyed it. Campy. This is good to fall asleep to, but I won't be revisiting this one anytime soon, I can tell you that. All right, we got our Godzilla hats on now. Pay tribute to the TOHO films. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this review of Matango, aka Attack of the Mushroom People. Make sure you check out my other movie reviews, and don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. And stay safe, my fellow fiends.
Watching my video. And remember, even though Monster Picker always says a man's best friend is his remote control, we know it's a pup. Thanks again, stay safe, and pet a pup for good luck. Bye.